Game on.
Glenn, you are a badass!
Welcome, Game Gurus. Welcome to another edition of Glenn's Retro Show. Today we're going to be taking a look at a donation I got from Angel Otero. It's an Arcade1UP Pac-Man and Galaga Countercade. So we're going to take a look at this today. And, well, first of all, thank you again, Angel Otero, for sending this in to me. I really do appreciate it. He's a great guy. He's from This Ability. So if you're looking for any light-up marquees and other fine products, you can hit him up. I'll put information for Angel down below. We'll take a look at this today, and I will say it's got some good heft to it. So without further ado, let's take a look at this Arcade1UP Countercade and see if it's worth your money. Okay, so first we can see, the box itself. I know they had these out before, but I don't know if they had these plastic covers on here. So they have a plastic cover covering the front of the unit to protect the artwork. Because Arcade1UP has been pretty infamous for the artwork getting wiped off very easily. But I do see they also have, looks like a acrylic cover down there. But again, it's Pac-Man, so it looks like a nice little Pac-Man console here. The box art looks pretty decent. It does say it's got the light-up marquee, which is something I know that they added. It is a color screen. Take a look at the side of the unit here. We can see that they're including 4 games: Pac-Man, Pac-Mania. I was never really a huge fan of Pac-Mania. I played it on the Amiga, not in the arcades. It was okay, nothing spectacular. But they do have Galaga and Galaxian. Now, if anyone knows me, I do kind of prefer Galaxian a little bit more than Galaga, just because I played it first. But the Galaga is obviously a better engaging game. There's more things you could do with it. So they do give you 4 games, which is pretty good. And the machine looks kind of nice with the fake, T-molding on here. It's most like it's just tape. But they have the artwork on the side. And we'll take a little more on the of the unit on the inside. Okay, you see the back of the box right here. Again, just the same basic information there. It's made by Tastemakers, which is the parent company of Arcade1UP. Scott Backrad owns Tastemakers. And I'd say it again, the machine does got some good heft to it. So it's definitely a wood product, and there's electronics in there. That's really it for the box. I don't think anything's on the bottom, it's just the bottom. But we need to get inside this box, so let me get, see how we can get into here. I don't think it's taped shut. So we can open this right here, on this side and over here. There we go. And it looks like this pulled up like that. Okay. And actually there is some tape on here right there, but that came off okay. Okay, that's okay there. Just must pull straight out, I believe. Something like that. Okay. Well, we got the top open, and right on top we have a little owner's manual here. And a small AC adapter. Let's put that down here for a second, the AC adapter. And let's just take a look in the manual here. It looks like it's, wow, they even sealed it, like top secret manual, like no one's supposed to really know what's in here. Huh. Very rare to see Glenn ripping up a bag, but that's okay. And the instruction manual here looks like, it's a black and white manual, nothing spectacular there. And we have our English version and France. I'll send it to my friends up in Canada, I suppose. Put that down here for a second. Their warranty information card, and that's something probably you're definitely going to want to hold on to, is their warranty card, for sure. And I assume in French. And of course, it's a very basic manual here. All the information we kind of need. Is it a flip fold? It looks like it is a flip fold, or is it not? Nope, just maybe stuck together. Huh. There it is. It goes that way. Okay. Well, at least I figured it out. So basic information here. Again, these are not very complicated, so it's not too many things that you couldn't figure out on your own. But they do have a manual in here. But I say, again, make sure you hold on to that warranty card. I'm sure that's going to be very important. We'll put that aside for a second. And again, we have our power adapter here. I'm assuming it's going to be like a 5-volt power supply. Let's see what it says on here. It is 5 volts, 2 amps. So I don't know if you can see that through the camera, but this is a 5 volt, 2 amp, very small power adapter. Not 12 volts like the Arcade1UP usually uses. So let's see if we can pull this top off of here. Put that aside as well. And it looks like we can lift this thing right out, which is what I'm going to do. And again, this is plastic cover here, which is, again, it's probably good to hold on to, maybe not so much the box, although I'm kind of crazy, I keep boxes. But maybe just keep this plastic cover so when it's not used to maybe protect it from dust. So I'll probably at least hold on to that. And let's see if we can pull this thing out. And it does come out pretty nicely. Cool. And we'll put this box to the side for a second. And we'll put this down here gently. And again, it's got some nice heft to it, which I kind of like. Now that's kind of cool that it's got the weight. I'm still talking about the weight because a lot of times you get things like this, you know, they're very hollow and light and they slide all around. But let me see if I can pull this thing right off. I assume it just comes right off easy. Yeah, this is something I definitely would hold on to, this cover. It makes a great dust cover to use afterwards if you don't want to keep the whole entire box. But again, I'm going to put this to the side for a moment. There we go. And the unit looks pretty good. I'll get a little bit closer for you guys here. You know, the artwork is usually done by Escape Pod for them, so the artwork looks really, really good. The control panel looks pretty good. Side artwork. So all that looks pretty good. Now the back of the unit here, it's got their typical Arcade1UP information back here. Same type of you know, thin cardboard back panel. We have our power adapter right here for the external power brick, and some information serial numbers on the bottom. Decent rubber feet on the bottom right there. Doesn't look like it wants to move. It's on a snack table. If I hold the snack table, it doesn't appear it wants to move. So on one side of the machine, they have the nice Pac-Man artwork, which is kind of nice. And of course, we look at the other side. It's the Galaga artwork on the side, and it fits in there pretty nicely. So it looks pretty good. And you know, I don't see any scratches or anything in the artwork, which sometimes is pretty common with Arcade1UP. And both sides look to be pretty good. There's a couple of little marks here on the side. It looks like it's just like glue or something. So much for it being perfect. That's okay. But the marquee itself looks good. It's not lit up yet, but that looks fine. The bezel looks fine. No problems there. And of course we have this plastic we need to pull off on here. Now on the Arcade1UP desktops, you have to do this on both sides. People seem to forget that and they say, why is it so foggy? This one, they did it on the one side. So you're probably going to have to at least undo the screws if you want to get all the tape out from underneath the screw. But for right now, this should be fine. Just tear around the joystick as best I can here. There we go. So more or less that was pretty painless. And it looks pretty good. So we have our fire button here, which would be used for the Galaga and Galaxian itself. We do have a headphone jack, which is kind of nice. We have a 1 and 2 player start, on, off, and it looks like it is a slider volume. So instead of having 1, 2 positions like off, low, high, you probably have like 12 or 13 different volume settings on there. So the next thing for us to do is to get this thing plugged in and see how it powers on. So let me get the power brick and connect that. Okay, we can see that the marquee is lit up here. I'll turn the lights off a little bit later so you can see what it looks like that way. And let's see what our volume is at right now. So volume right now is about midway, about 50%, 60% right there. But you can see it can go all the way up to, looks like 15. We'll leave it like around, I'll leave it at 10 for right now. We can see we have our Pac-Man game right here. Galaxian, Galaga, and Pac-Mania. So start off with Pac-Man initially. Again, we'll go in, we'll press the A button here. And then our player 1 to start the game. And the screen itself looks pretty good. I'm going to just go around the screen. It does wash out going off kilt to the right. And the left side, it's completely unviewable. So if you're looking at it straight on in the front and to the right, you're okay. But from the left-hand side, it's completely unviewable. But let's start a game to see how the joystick is and how it goes. So we'll start our game. And it does feel like a 4-way direction lock joystick, so that's good. Joystick actually feels pretty good. Actually, I think the joystick feels really, really good, actually, for its size. And I do appreciate that it's 4-way direction locked, which will be fine for all the games that are on here. Oh, so close so far. We'll just finish this one round here. But the screen looking on straight ahead looks really, really good. Okay, so we finished the first level. I'm going to hold down the player 1. That should take me back out to the main menu. And we'll try Pac-Mania. Again, Pac-Mania is a game with like 3D. You can jump over the ghosts. It just wasn't one of my favorite games. So you can use the fire button here to like jump over the ghost. But we'll try a little bit of this game. I want to turn the volume up a little bit. Should have jumped. Oh, I tried to jump over him. Oh, this might be game over. Game over. See you. So again, just Pac-Man is not one of my favorite games, but I'm sure if you like this game, it plays very well. Again, looking straight on like this, straight on, you're fine. Looking from this direction is okay, but looking from this direction, the display is completely unviewable. And it's just the display technology that they used. Let me go back out of here again. And this time I'm going to start off now with Galaga and Galaxian. Oh, gotta press this button over here. Make sure the volume's up a little bit. This is max volume right now. And let's put a coin in. Ah, so close. There we go. Now, of course, this was the spiritual successor to Space Invaders. You know, taking Space Invaders to the next level. Again, the sound is adequate for being right in front of it, so I have no problem with the volume. The headphone jack is a nice feature. You can always dump it into a nice big sound system and hear this down the block, which is what they had in those Space Invaders from Arcade1UP. Oh, they're starting there. kamikaze runs. All right, so it plays very well. The ship is the right color. They had a problem initially with the ship in their original Arcade1UP Galaga machine, but this plays pretty well. The joystick, I'm really impressed with the joystick. I think the joystick quality here is really, really good. I'm gonna go out here for a second. And the buttons, you know, typical buttons from Arcade1UP, but I'm really impressed so far with this joystick. It feels pretty good. It's got a short throw in there. It's 4-way direction lock, which is fine for the Galaga and Galaxian and the Pac-Man games. So let's try now Galaga, see how this plays. Again, screen looks fine. The light up marquee is pretty good. The artwork around here looks really, really nice, but let's play the game. Sounds really good. There we go. You always want to get your secondary ship. Oops, my hand was hitting the 2-player button there. Probably a little bit too close. I'm really digging this joystick, I'm not going to lie. I think this is probably one of the best joysticks I use from Arcade1UP on this little machine. Ah! So close to a perfect score. But let me give you my score of the Arcade1UP Pac-Man Galaga Countercade. So what are my final thoughts of the Arcade1UP Pac-Man Galaga Countercade? Well, I think if you get it for the right price, this one is kind of nice. I mean, the sound quality from close-up is pretty good. The machine is pretty solid. The joystick really impressed me on this one. I mean, Arcade1UP joysticks generally a little bit on the loose side. This one actually feels really good. I wish they put that in more of their machines. The 4-way direction lock was a very welcome addition to have in there as well. The artwork here from Escape Pod, who generally does their artwork, I believe they did this one as well, came out really good. There are some markings here on the side of the Pac-Man. And there's a little nicks here down at the control panel, but it could be dirt. I'm going to take this off and I'll take a look in a quick second about that, but it looks like it might be nicked down there. So there's always some little imperfections with the artwork on these. But overall, it's not bad. The big detractor actually is the screen. And again, if you're playing it the way you're supposed to be playing it, right in front, there's no issues. From up to down, from this type of viewing angle, it looks great. If you're coming in from this side right here, the screen actually looks decent. It gets a little dark. But if you're coming in from this side, so friends are sitting here watching you play over here, the screen is absolutely horrid. And that's just the technology of the screen that they use. It's not like an IPS screen, which was probably cost savings, I'm sure. But again, one person playing the game in front, there's really no issues. Other than that, you know, it's a nice little unit. If you get it for a good price, this was a donation, so I don't know what this was paid for, but if you get it for a good price, it's nice. It saves space. You can play 4 games on here, which is a pretty good value again for the price. But the machine overall, you know, it's good, and you know, I like it. They did a pretty good job. Maybe in the next version of their Countercades, they can improve the screen quality in there. And again, just make sure that the artwork is not nicked or anything like that when it gets shipped, because I still feel that is more of a manufacturing issue. It's not a shipping issue. The stuff I'm seeing on here, from the way it's packaged, was all fine. It's not the box. It's they're not checking properly at the factory before they send it out. But that's it for today's show, Game Gurus. I appreciate your time. If you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps a lot. And subscribe if you're not currently a subscriber. If you are, I want to thank you again for being one. And that's it for today's episode. So I appreciate your time, and no matter what you do, what game you play, or how you play your games, just remember to have fun, tell your family and friends that you love them, and most of all, game on.
At the Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.